sacrifice. You made a way when there was no way. You made a way when there was no way. You made a way when there was no way. You made a way when there was no way.
Hey, my name's Emily. I was a member of drug court, and I'm going to tell you about where my life was before drug court and after drug court. My life before drug court, I am a recovering meth addict. I've done every drug there is under the sun. I've drank alcohol. I've done it. You name it, I've done it. I was living a crazy life. I ran with a biker gang. I was shoplifting. I was bouncing from shed to shed, no place to stay. Barely had any clothes, shoes on my feet. I just was a mess. I was a mess. Got in a lot of trouble, got arrested, got offered the drug court program in lieu of prison, and I took the program. The people in this program have completely changed my life. They still reach out to me to this day. They're still part of my recovery family in every move that I make. And they were great with listening to you and understanding your problems and not judging you for your mental issues and treating you like a human being instead of just an addict or a junkie, and understanding where you were coming from. So drug court is an amazing program that helped save my life. Fast forward to today, I have my own home that you see me sitting outside of right now, giving this video. I own my vehicle. I have a full-time job at a convenience store, which is crazy because to get hired with the background that I have of theft and grand theft and retail theft and possession and everything else, and to be able to score a job full-time at a convenience store, the Domino branch, Reliance also is what it's known by, is where I work. 3 different stores here in Marion County. I have a great support system. My family is amazing. My recovery family, Halo for Hope, I helped start that a couple years ago. It is an amazing program, doesn't judge you. You can come from any walks of life and be accepted and just guided into the right direction that you need to be guided in. But I would have to say, if it wasn't for drug court, I probably wouldn't be here today. The people in there really care, and they devote their time to help save your life. So from being a junkie, a biker gang hoodlum, a shoplifter, an abuser, mentally and physically to other people, to be where I am today, full-grown, 28-year-old woman who has matured in so many ways, got her own place, owned her car, full-time job, and still sober to this day. And I am 2 years sober, if anybody wants to know. It has been a journey for me. I've had my slip-ups, and slip-ups are going to happen. Doesn't matter how hard you fall, it's how fast you get back up and brush yourself off and keep pushing forward. So if you stay focused on what you need in life, you say, if you have a higher power, give your life to Him. I give mine to God. Reach out to the recovery family, Halo for Hope, any organization that you prefer to reach out to, or just an individual. There's help. This program called Drug Court is amazing, and the support system stays with you for a lifetime. And I'm here to tell you today, you too can make it. One day at a time, one step at a time, you will make it. I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope that you continue on this journey. And if you ever need any help, if you can find me on Facebook, Emily Lou, and I will be here to help you. All right, well, have a great day.
Reminisce about the old days, the old ways, the old plays I used to make. Stop, wait, is this fate? Dying by the hands of the enemy. The devil said to me, this can't be the way it ends. I speak life over you and yours. Let's change the course. Let's be the voice the people need to hear. No more anger, no more fear.
This way is November 15th, 2016. I caught 10 felony charges. I was riding my buddy's old lady around while she was doing Backpage, shooting heroin and meth, and it all ended that day. But that's pretty much how my life was going around that time. It was a lot of heroin, meth. Got locked up for stealing my neighbor's tools, like not just one neighbor, like 3 neighbors.
So what happened after drug court and maintaining sobriety for multiple years? What did drug court do in recognition of your success and commitment to surrender to the process?
Well, it was a huge surprise. They They actually awarded me the Daniel Travis Nolan Award for drug court participant, being able to basically somebody that's still involved in recovery, that's graduated, that still gives back to the program, stuff like that.
As a father with your daughter at home.
See, I had never been locked up with a kid before, so that was a new experience for me. And I remember getting the phone calls at night. I could get a call a night, and I'd hear her on the phone, and she had just started being able to talk, and she would, they'd put her on just long enough to say, "I love you, Daddy," you know? And I'd say, "I love you too, Daddy's working, I'll be home soon," you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it was just one of those things where it hit me one day that if I wanted to be a good dad, I could just be that. It's not something I had to work for. If I wanted to be a good dad, I could be the best dad. I could be in jail, you know, I could not get in trouble. I had to make sure I was there for the phone calls. And it was one of those things that just hit me one day. If I wanted to get off dope, I just, you know, if I wanted to be a good person, I had to get clean. And I realized that it was entirely up to me. I couldn't blame anything on anybody anymore. I'd always wanted to be a dad, and I was finally one, and I was throwing it all away.
How was the withdrawals in jail?
Oh man. So I went in, and it took about 7 days for the withdrawals to start. 2 weeks straight of hallucinating, throwing up, diarrhea. How important it is to have a good social network in recovery and having that support and people to call on. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 5 of us that were in the Tuesday night group that clicked, and like we all hung out, and we still talk today.
Yep.
And those 5 people are still doing really good.
'Cause I used to be a criminal, a sick and twisted individual. But now I'm off the chemicals, and I'm living by a new set of principles. I'm feeling so spiritual. The scriptures I'm spitting is biblical. They can't copy my flow, I'm too lyrical. All I know is that God performs miracles. I used to be a junkie, used to be a tweaker. If you see my face, you would think I'm Jeepers Creepers, but God changed my features. I'm a new creature, changed the way I talk, got me sounding like a preacher. Some people like me, some people hate me. I don't know why, but it seems to motivate me. All I can say is I appreciate it greatly, and you better buckle up because I'ma drive you crazy.
You made a way when there was no way. You made a way when there was no way. You made a way when there was no way. You made a way where there was no way. You made a way when there was no way. You made a way when there was
Before
no
drug
way.
court, I was out of control, strung out on the crack pipe and the needle. I wasn't ready to get clean, you know. I was still running around and full of pride and ego. I think I had like a little drop top Mustang, and I was living the nightlife. Basically, gas tank on E, all drinks on me kind of deal.
He had like a Jersey Shore blowout.
Oh yeah, terrible haircut. And I thought I was like the coolest thing out. I was actually running dope for the dope man. That was kind of how I was being able to pay my way and stay high. And I pulled out of the dope hole, and I got pulled over by some undercovers. I mean, they were all like tatted up. They looked just like me, and I remember I was so high, they knocked on the window, and I rolled it down because I was getting ready to do my next, you know, shot. And they're all like, "You got any dope on you, bro?" And I was like, "Absolutely, I got tons of it." They literally just like arrested me immediately. And then I bonded right out, and then I got arrested again for the exact same charges. But the second time, the judge was looking at it, and they said, "No bond, we're keeping you in here. I don't know what you're doing out there, but I'm gonna save your life." Since I had 10 felony convictions prior to this, I was looking at prison again, and by the grace of God, there were some people that were already in drug court that ended up vouching for me, and they mailed me a drug court application when I was in jail, and I immediately filled that out and turned it in, and I got accepted. But I got in the program and I didn't take it seriously. I actually made a mockery of the program. That was Alina's favorite thing she would tell me. I didn't know what it meant, but I knew I was in trouble. Like, and unfortunately, I didn't get clean or stay clean. I got multiple sanctions to the point that I overdosed and died in drug court. And I came back to life against all odds. And eventually I got clean, and it was only because I started networking with other people in the program and taking my recovery serious for once, instead of like faking it, you know, just kind of faking it till you make it kind of deal. I remember I had a small 8-month cycle of sobriety, but I really wasn't clean, you know. I was kind of eating mushrooms here and there and drinking here and there. I mean, I was passing all the drug tests, but it just caught up with me. So in other words, you know, just if you're struggling and getting sanctions back to back, just go ahead and go to rehab. That's what I had to do. I went to rehab, and I had a spiritual awakening when I was in there.
I think everybody does.
Yeah, right? And just things started clicking for me in rehab. So when I got out, I didn't want to be that guy making the mockery of the drug court program no more. And I wanted to give back, you know, what was given to me. And that's the only way you can keep it. Those are things that you learn, the little mottos and the cliches. And we met with Pastor Lewis at this church, and we started a meeting called Halo. We were actually the first group of drug court clients to ever start a recovery meeting. And we got an incentive and certificates, and here we are 3 years later still doing the deal. And I think we should be pretty proud of that, right?
You made a way when there was no way. You made a way when there was no way. You made a way when there was no way. You made a way where there was no way. You made a way when there was...
What would you tell someone that's in drug court right now in a relationship with someone that's still using even though you're clean?
It's dangerous, very dangerous, man. I myself can say that I've experienced that. I've experienced the death. Why I was in drug court, I did everything I did everything, man, they say you weren't supposed to do in the first year of recovery. I got married, which made it even harder to even focus on myself. And I mean, I barely hung on, man, in drug court because I did that. And then, man, it was like 5 months later, she died. It's not a healthy situation if you're taking drug court serious to put yourself in at all. It just makes it that much harder, man, to focus on yourself. And that's really what I think is like important, man. Sobriety is about focusing on yourself, especially for the first year. You know, I mean, the process does work.
What was the most beneficial thing that you experienced from drug court?
Man, I'll never forget sitting down with Tracy Dobbins, and right out the gate, man, she threw 8 weeks of IOP on me, man. Right out the gate, I'm like, man, she don't even know me. But I tell you what, man, that IOP at the very beginning is what gave me accountability. It gave me a chance to start really looking at myself, and it gave me a chance to break the patterns of active addiction. You know, I'm now forced to be in 3 nights a week, 3 hours a night. The IOP, man, it's so much fun, man. I remember I volunteered for the anger management class. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, man, I can say that, man. I'd be honored to say that the 5, you know, there's 2 of you guys here from drug court, man. I'd be honored to say that you guys are my friends. Absolutely. Something that I've never had, man, ever in my life. People I know I can count on. You know what I mean? You know, the staff was really good too, man. Taylor, Alina, you know, Tracy Dobbins, all of them over there at OCP.
Even Bedell was pretty cool.
Listen, man, I'll never forget Richard Bedell. I was in the Tuesday night group when I got the call that my wife overdosed, and I rushed out of there, and they had somebody, Alina had somebody beat me to the hospital, man, and sat with me. As a matter of fact, he stayed with me overnight, and then the next morning, man, Richard Bedell come knocking on my door, and I'm thinking, man, that's just Bedell trying to catch me, catch me slipping. But really, in the end, man, I found out that dude, that hard-ass guy really has a heart, man. Yeah, and he really cared about me. You know? Yeah, man, Richard Bedell's all right. He's an all right guy, man. I can honestly say, man, that he was my probation officer before, because I violated probation, man, felony probation twice, man. I should have gone to prison. It was only God's grace and mercy, man, that I even got drug court on third go around. You know what I mean?
This is my second run at drug court.
Yeah, but, you know,
Your second?
This is my second run at drug court. I passed the first one flying colors, but I've always been good at passing programs. You know what I'm saying? I get on probation, I'd run it, knock it out. You know what I mean? Because I knew if I didn't, then I'd go to jail, and you know I really couldn't use then. You know, I've always tried to sneak around and all that. The second run at drug court is really whenever, like I said, I had a kid. I was life was different for me. I knew if I took it seriously, it would help, because it built such a strong foundation for me when I got out of jail. But yeah, they offered me 32 months DOC at my open plea hearing. And the state's attorney was like, there is no way we are letting him off without some time. You know what I mean? And Judge Ullman went against the state's recommendation and gave me another chance. You know what I mean? So I was sure to thank him at the end when I graduated, because they didn't want to give me drug court.
How'd you get into drug court?
Man, I, like an idiot, I was an electrician, man, and right at the entrance of the Marion County Jail, that we were doing some work, and I stole some electrical wire. And, man, like, I didn't know that stuff was that expensive. It was like $20,000 in restitution. To be truthful, man, that was like for 2 Delatas.
Wow.
I traded all that for 2 Delatas, man. Man, I tell you, that was like, I was looking at going to, I got put on probation, and I had Richard Bedell, and I did good. I drug offender probation, and I did good for a little while, man, and I was getting high. I don't know how. I mean, I kept passing drug tests, and then, man, I got on cocaine real bad, man, which was always a problem, and I just couldn't get sober. And lo and behold, man, he called me up and said, man, you missed your appointment like a week and a half ago. And I said, man, he said, you need to be in the morning, man, or I'm going to violate you. I said, man, you're going to violate me anyways. He goes, why? I said, because I'm going to have a dirty urn. He said, man, come in and see me. They didn't arrest me right then. You know, I was dirty, and I went in front of Omen, 30 days in jail. They let me back out. I'm just going to get this. I'm going to prison. I can't do probation. I've never been able to do probation.
Yeah, me
And
neither.
something happened, man. I mean, I made it through drug court in 13 months with no dirty urns, no sanctions. I had a very strong desire and will at the very beginning, and I did it. I did all the way to the end. It just, man, it was life changing, man. That was, I can honestly say, man, that was as much as what was required of me. Man, I had an absolute blast, man. I am so blessed I had been able to meet OCP, Tracy Dobbins, Taylor Banks, you know, Alina.
Hey, Alina.
Hey.
Give me 30 days maximal confinement in the Marion County Jail. I was like, man, it sucks, man. But honestly, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, man.
Yeah, you get to really know yourself.
Yeah.
In confinement like
I remember CO being like, sometimes the old county jail is the only thing to get that monkey off your back, boys. I remember him joking around and stuff, because a bunch of junkies in there, man, detoxing, having to go to drug court. That's where I first met you, man. You
Yep.
were up there for the sanction for dying.
I had to make a
Like, how do you
apology
die
letter.
in drug court and then show up to court on Thursday? You know?
Oh my Lord.
He was up there rapping to Judge Ullman, getting a little disrespectful in drug court, and I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah, slippery slope.
Yeah,
remember
the
that?
slippery slope.
So you actually get a sanction for dying?
Well, he got
They
a
couldn't really sanction me because
Right.
I guess it wasn't even heroin. It was
They knew you were in the hospital.
Yeah.
You missed the screen or something for being in the hospital or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Now I'm in green and white, shackled up, standing over in the corner, sitting in the corner watching everything, and I'm just shaking my head like, this guy,
Oh man.
he's making it hard for everybody in here.
All right, so let's finish strong. All right, so after drug court,
Okay.
3 years later, we're still running the program Halo for Hope. Myself, I am the owner-operator of lawn service, deliver yachts and oversized loads. I'm a pilot car escort. I'm going to Full Sail University full-time, and I've been doing woodwork, rustic legacy is what it's called, doing farmhouse tables and barn doors. And career-wise, how's it looking for you?
Man, I ultimately, man, since drug court, man, I ended up obviously relapsing the night that I got out, and I stayed out there for 13 hard months, man. And man, I put myself in rehab, and my new sobriety date's December 2nd, 2019, and I hit the ground running, man. I didn't look back. I took all this very serious, man. I took what I learned at OCP in drug court and mixed with, which, man, I wish today, man, that I was, if I could change anything, man, I wish that I had gone to rehab while in drug court.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I can't say that it would have changed things, but it just, man, I've learned so much about myself. I was able, I met a gentleman, man, in a meeting, why in treatment. Never thought I'd see this guy a day in my life, man. I got out, went to Unity, and started working for the guy. And, I do industrial refrigeration, all over the Southeast United States. And I mean, basically, man, I'm my own boss, man. I hire, he let me hire, I handpicked the company. You know what I mean? I picked 2 guys from rehab, and one of the guys is in drug court.
Nice.
I handpicked them, man. And it is a blessing, man. I'm around somebody with 20 years of sobriety. He not only cares about me, but he loves about me. He loves me. I built back what I've lost, man, in the last 10 years in the last year. I mean, I can't begin. It's not about money, but, I know who I am today. And of course, man, yeah, all the other material things that came with it. But man, I can keep it. I can keep a job. I can keep the money in the bank.
You've always been a mover and a shaker, though, bro.
Yeah.
Making things happen.
And then you, James.
Well, what did I used to say in OCP when Miss Tracy would ask, what if you died or whatever? She used to say, "What do you want out of recovery or whatever?" And I'd say,
You want your daughter to remember you as
a good guy.
a good guy, right?
You know what I mean? If I died tonight, then Ava could say her dad was a good guy, and I'd be winning.
It's important, man.
You know what I'm saying?
It's important,
If
bro.
I would have died back then, she could have never said that about me. So I got that. That's the most important thing I got out of drug court. But with the career-wise, when I was in drug court, I delivered bread for Pepperidge Farm for a little while, and there wasn't enough money. I made more money on day labor. So I started going to day labor, and everybody was like, "Oh, you need to get a real job, And I said, somebody will hire me. I just keep going to day labor, and somebody will pick me up. Well, lo and behold, I got a ticket to go do some demolition for Cullis and Wright Construction, and it just took off. You know what I mean? After a few months, they hired me on, put me in a job trailer, and now I've ran $1 million projects. I'm at the Ocala Regional right now, running 3 jobs. So I mean, God just literally took. I stopped worrying about when the end of, when 3:30 was gonna come. You know what I mean? Because that's used to be all I worried about when back in the day. It was like, I'm ready to get off, go smoke a blunt, drink some beer, take a couple pills, whatever, and go relax.
That distraction.
My time. I want my time. I want to go be lazy. But I stopped worrying about all that, and people noticed, you know what I'm saying? And the company, when I had my interview, they were like, I just laid everything out for them in drug court. I'm on probation, I got a record. And they were like, well, we're a second chance company, so.
Wow.
And I took that, man. I've never been ungrateful about it to this day. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, the moral of this is the judge can't stop you. Probation officer can't stop you. Your counselors. I mean, none of that's going to stop you. It's up to you to make the decision and surrender to change your life and be willing to change the people, places, and things. You're going to hear it throughout this whole entire process and being in drug court. People, places, and things.
Trust the process.
Trust the process.
Humble yourself.
Yeah.
Humble yourself.
Yeah.
And
Make the best of what time you got here.
yep.
Use
And,
it.
Be honest.
Take
You got to
advantage
be
of it.
honest. You'll be so, like, if you relapse, you'll be so surprised how coming to group or just telling on yourself, how freeing that is and how far it'll take you compared to trying to lie and hide it and pass the drug test or flush your system. Just be honest and it'll get you so far.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have to hide anything today, man.
Yeah, I get to be a good father. I've always looked up to him. He was just saying, I want to be the same guy every day. That way my daughter can expect.
Right, I want to be consistent. She knows what to expect from me. And it don't matter if I'm, 30 or 50, if she can be 6 or 60, she needs to be able to pick the phone up and call dad. You know what I mean? I need to be stable enough to be there for her. If I'm using, I'm going to be in jail or dead or off running around stealing people's tools, you know what I'm saying? So no matter what, I got to hold tight, you know what I'm saying? Just for her, I brought her in the world. The world's crazy enough without your dad being a junkie.
Woo! Yeah, so you deserve the best life there is to live, and I can assure you, shooting dope, smoking dope has nothing to do with that life. You've got potential. It's time for you to find it. This is your opportunity. Drug court literally changed our life.
Absolutely.
And we're like role models and pillars in the recovery community. It's crazy.
I can't believe that either, bro.
I know. I was dead. You were like dead. We were all like, we were dead, and now we're alive, So get with the program. We're here every Thursday night. Tuesday nights,
Christian
too.
12-step Tuesday nights, 7 o'clock.
Halo.
Bible Church.
He knows the AA world. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
So hit us
It's a
up. We're
network.
here if you need us.
Absolutely.
It was supposed to be like 2 minutes.
It's not going to be 2 minutes.
You made a way when there was no way. You made a way when there was no way. You made a way when there was no way. You made a way where there was no way. You made